For our next part, sequence of events, our speakers for today. Let us welcome our first speaker, ATM Patten, is speaker number 1 today because he can't wait to be speaker number 2, speaker number 3, or speaker number 4 to share his excitement with us. Ty has been retired for 8 years, and he believes what he is sharing this morning is germane to every person in the room. With his speech entitled, "I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it." Let's welcome ATM Ty Patten.
Woo-hoo! Ty Patten. Woo!
I am excited. I want to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But first of all, who can tell me what the difference is, or what the commonality is, between Mother Teresa, Warren Buffett, or James Cash Penney, the founder of J.C. Penney?
No.
Okay, you don't know? Let me tell you, is that not a one of them retired at retirement age. Not at 65, not at 75, or even 85. Mother Teresa stepped down from her position at the age of 87, only because of health issues. And she passed away 5 months later. James Cash Penney, well, that son of a gun, he was going until he was 95. Now, he was a bit of a slacker. He was only going into the office 3 times a week. But I guess when you own a company that is at large and you've got unlimited funds, you can work any hours you want. Right, Tim Taylor? And Warren Buffett. That man is going to be 93 years old this year. And he is still in control of his empire. Yes, I said empire. 2022, Forbes magazine ranked him as the 9th wealthiest man in the world with $106 billion. Billion dollars. You know, if he was to spend $1 million a day, every day, 365 days a year, that'd be $365 million a year. It would take him 290 years to expend all of his money, and that's if he makes not even a single dime more. What drives these people?
Money.
I gotta tell you, I was somewhat forced into retirement at the age of 64. I loved what I was doing. I was an enrollment advisor. I started being an enrollment advisor for a master's and a doctorate degree for Boston University music program. And anybody that's aware of music knows that Boston University, that's the epitome of success. They are known for their education program in music. I loved it. And then I went on after that for 9 years. I enrolled into a master's degree at Eastern Kentucky University. It was a master's in safety with concentrations in international security, homeland security. And again, it was so rewarding to me to be able to help people make the right decisions. And that decision wasn't always to join our program. I think about the young man that I talked to. I can say young because he was in his mid-50s and I'm 74. As I was talking to him and interviewing him, and this is all over the phone, I didn't get that fire in the belly. And I finally asked him, I said, what would you do if money was no object? He said, oh, Ty, that's an easy one. He said, I'd be anthropologist. Anthropologist? And you're going for a master's degree in Homeland Security, emergency management? Why? Well, because that's where the money is. Now, how many of us already know that if you're simply pursuing money, you're on your way to failure? Okay. Well, fellow Toastmasters and guests and members of the head table, I'm here to tell you that I discovered after 8 years of being retired that I love with a passion being able to help people in that way, helping them to pick the right choice, the right education, so that they could improve their livelihood. They could get those promotions. They could set themselves up to have a better life for themselves, their family, and all those around them. And when we love what we're doing, Mark Sullivan said it the best. He said, and I'll have to paraphrase it just a bit, but if you can find something that you love to do and you make a living at it at the same time, you found the nearest thing to heaven that you'll ever find on it. You know, I just cringe when I hear people say, "Oh, it's Monday morning! No!" And yet, how many of us have done that? I recently, over that period, I recently stumbled upon an opportunity for me to go back into a position helping other individuals. And it's working with one of the oldest IT procurement companies in the country. They've been around for nearly 50 years now. And they help huge corporations, over 350 of the top of the Fortune 500. And they make them more able to have good deals, to have good contracts. And when we're talking about IT for IBM, Ford, huge corporations like that, you're not talking about a few thousand or maybe even a million or so. We're talking multi-million, even into the billions. And so when you have a contract that you fill out and you're obligated for 3 or 4 or 5 years, you better have all of those I's dotted, all the T's crossed, and you better have an exit strategy, because if you hang it in there with a wrong deal, you're stuck. And it could cost you billions for that one mistake. So I love that idea that I'm going to be in there. I started February 1st. And sure, it's part-time. I guess you could say I'm like James Cash Penny. I'm only going into the office when I want. And they're flexible with me to allow me to do that because they like the experience that I've had with other positions in enrollment. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you leave here today, I want something to be burning in the back of your mind. When you're on that cruise this evening, trying to enjoy yourself, I want you cursing Patten for making you think about what's burning in my belly. Fellow Toastmasters.
No.